Hello there folks, and welcome to Bullets for Bucks. My name's Steven, and today we're going to compare the Sako S20 against the Bergara B14 Wilderness Ridge rifle. And you're probably saying, well, that is not the Wilderness Ridge stock, and you're correct. This is an aftermarket Wooks chassis, but I do have the original, so we'll be comparing it against the original configuration. All right, so first let's take a look at the Sako S20 Precision. You can get this in a hunter version that's slightly lighter and comes with a thumb hole buttstock. But let's take a look at the recoil pad, about an inch thick, nice and soft. It's got adjustable or removable spacers for length of pull, flush cups on both sides, though they do stick out just a little bit. So you can mount your QD sling there. It has an adjustable comb, push button, really slick and nice there. And then it has a flat bottom here at the back for bag riding, and it does have M-lock, so you can put an M-lock bipod on there. Has kind of a target style stock with a cutout here, almost a 90-degree pistol grip, some texturing on there for grippiness, and then it has, I would say, a pretty beefy palm swell. You can remove two Torx head screws right here and actually remove this buttstock and swap it out for the thumb hole buttstock, or you can just remove it so you can store it in a smaller case for travel. This stock does feature a aluminum mini chassis within, which makes it very structurally strong. The outside, though, kind of has a cheaper plastic look and feel to it. Has a plastic trigger guard, would have liked to see that be metal. Plastic removable magazine. The magazine system, though, works really smooth and slick, and I actually like it. Has a tactical bolt knob, 60-degree bolt lift. When the safety is on, it locks the bolt in place. One forward, you can fire and remove the bolt, and then there's a push tab. You can actually push down and remove the bolt while it's safe. You can push in the side bolt release on the side of the receiver to remove the bolt. Has a nice polished bolt body to it. Runs insanely smooth in the receiver, maybe even smoother or as smooth as a Tikka, which is made in the same factory in Finland. Has 3 locking lugs, a combed bolt head, Sako style extractor and plunger ejector. The receiver has a cutout in the front and the back that bind with the mini chassis within. So it's firmly bedded into that mini chassis. Features a 0 MOA partial Picatinny scope base rail on the top that's integral. You cannot remove it. I would have liked to see that be full Picatinny and 20 MOA. I think that was a mistake on their part. The receiver is Cerakoted, so it's very weather resistant. Then coming forward, you have a very nice cold hammer forged barrel that's Cerakoted. It's 24 inches long in the 300 Win Mag caliber. Straight fluted, threaded 5/8 by 24, but it does not come with a muzzle brake. The forearm end on this is about medium width, I would say. Kind of flattened out on the bottom for easy bag riding. Has M-lock on the sides, the bottom, and flush cups so you can mount your QD sling. One cool thing about this trigger is it's extremely crisp, clean, and it breaks like glass. Adjustable down to about 2.5 pounds, has a curved trigger blade, and one of the coolest things is you can actually adjust it forward and backwards for like length of pull. Very unique on that. And it comes in at about 8.6 pounds and is about 47 inches long. The hunter configuration, I believe, comes in at like 7.4 or 7.8 pounds. All right, let's take a look at the Bergara. First looking at the receiver and barrel, because that's the factory configuration. So we have the Bergara Wilderness Ridge B14, and this is in 300 PRC. One thing to note is the Sako is not available in 300 PRC. Has a 90-degree bolt throw, unlike the Sako that has a 60-degree bolt throw. Tactical bolt knob though. Cocked indicator at the rear, polished bolt handle, side bolt release, 2 locking lugs, a plunger ejector, Sako style extractor, and has a little claw extractor. Runs extremely smooth in the receiver. I would say the Sako feels just a tiny bit smoother and a little bit tighter in tolerances though. When the safety is on, it does not lock the bolt in place, and it's a 2-position safety. The receiver on this is a Remington 700 footprint, so it has a recoil lug sandwiched between the barrel and the receiver that goes into the bedding system of the stock. Both have a good bedding system, but we'll get into that a little bit more later. The original configuration on this has a all-metal floor plate metal trigger guard, and it is a capacity 3+1. Depending on caliber, it could be 4+1, and the floor plate does open. This features a Bergara trigger that is single stage adjustable down to about 2 to 2.5 pounds. I would say it's not quite as crisp and clean as the Sako trigger, and you can adjust the blade forward or back for length of pull. They do feature a very nice barrel though. and it is Cerakoted as well for rust and corrosion resistance on the Wilderness Ridge version. And the barrel is fully free-floated in the factory configuration, and it is threaded 5/8 by 24, and this does come with a radial muzzle brake. All right, now let's take a look at the stock here. This is the original stock it comes with. Has about a 1-inch thick, medium soft recoil pad, very traditional style. No real comb raise here. Has a sling swivel stud, thin profile palm swell with some checkering for grippiness, and the whole thing has like a soft touch, grippy, rubberized feeling to it. Features pillar bedding, and this is a polymer fiber reinforced stock. It's not fiberglass or carbon fiber or anything like that. It doesn't have aluminum mini chassis. It just has metal pillars that the receiver bed against, and then this slot right here is where the front recoil lug from the receiver slides into. It is fully free floated, as I mentioned. It does come with a front sling swivel stud, and it's got a little bit more narrow profile forend, but not too much different. Not as flat on the bottom though for bag riding. This is definitely more of a hunter style stock, and you can get Bergara B14s in all different models, and some models are more similar, such as the HMR to the Sako S20 Precision. But I don't have that one on hand. So I would say the bedding system in the Sako is definitely superior, as it has a embedded aluminum mini chassis, and I just think it's probably a little bit better. However, the Bergara HMR also has a very similar bedding system and stock to the Sako S20. So I would say those would be pretty close on par in that regard. And the Bergara in Wilderness Ridge features a 24-inch barrel, comes in at a weight of 7.9 pounds. The Bergara does not feature a integral Picatinny scope base, which I actually prefer. That way you can swap them out and get what you want. All right, now let's take to these range and see how they perform. Wow. Woo, that's accurate. All right, now that we're back from the range, you can see that the Sako performed flawlessly, ejected, extracted, fed flawlessly, runs like butter, really super ergonomic, feels great in the hand, and shot very accurately, even with factory ammunition. Obviously, it's a little bit heavier rifle than the Wilderness Ridge in its original configuration. The Bergara Wilderness Ridge in its original configuration actually shot just as accurately, if not more accurately though. I don't think it feels as good ergonomically. It doesn't run quite as smooth, and the trigger's not quite as crisp and clean. However, it shot just as accurately with factory ammunition. Now, given the very small sampling of factory ammunition shot out of both of these, it's impossible to say one is actually inherently more accurate than the other, and I'm sure both of them are capable of half to quarter MOA given proper load development. I do prefer the safety on the S20. I prefer the shorter bolt lift. It's 60 degrees versus 90 degrees on the S20. It also is a takedown rifle, and even the Bergara HMR is not a takedown rifle where you can remove the buttstock, swap it out, or make it more compact for flying with. So overall, I would pick the Sako S20, but the Bergara is a phenomenal rifle that shoots extremely accurately as well. Thanks for watching Bullets for Bucks. Check out this next video and subscribe.